Hi everybody, welcome to our Thursday live tutorial. Thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And this month, Stampin' Up! Is having 15% all of our 2025-2027 new in-color products. That includes some of our designer paper, some of our kits, so lots of great things on sale this month. Okay, so today I have another fun fold card for you using the Turtley Awesome stamp set and the designer paper. So for the paper, we're going to use this one. We have one sheet that has all little scenes, and so we're going to use this fun little park garden scene. All right, now you don't have to have the our Everyday Arches dies, but we're going to use those, or I've already used them. And so I've used the two largest. So I took the largest, I cut a piece of garden green cardstock. I folded it in half, and then I cut it so it did not cut here. It just cut around here, and you can see that little stitching. So this is the largest die. Then I took the next largest die and cut out this the scene out of here. And it takes most of the sheet, not all of it. But if you don't have this, you can just cut your cardstock 4 1/4 by 11, fold it over, and then use that panel on the front, just trim it down a little bit. I also took the next smallest die and I cut a piece of folded basic white cardstock. And so I fold it in half, I cut it just like I did there, and this is going to go on the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this, adhere it in so that, oh man, well, I thought I was ready. I don't have my adhesive, so we're just going to use our liquid glue. I don't have my seal adhesive. All right, now I want this to go in so that it closes when I close my card. Okay, we're gonna let that set. Let's go ahead and adhere this to the front. Okay, I'm putting this on very thinly, very sparingly. When I run it around like that, I don't put thick lines of glue. I just do it very thin. All right, so let's decorate the front and then we'll get to the inside where all the magic happens. All right, so this is one of the turtles that we can cut out of the designer paper, and he's perfect for this card because he's watering. He's got a little bird on his head. I'm going to use up the scraps of this sheet of dimensionals. Put one there, put one down here on our water, and let's see if this will fit up where his head is. Okay, I think that's probably good. Get all of this peeled off. And we want him watering the flowers. Cute. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp. I've just got a little piece of white, and this is maybe 5/8 inch, and I'm just going to do Sweet Friend. So if you've got a gardening friend, this is the perfect card for them. I've got to move this off so I can see that I'm stamping straight. Okay, that's all the stamping I'm going to do. So let's cut this maybe at a little angle. Sweet Friend, just put a cute little banner on here. Okay, we're going to just pop that up right there. And then I have these birds and dragonfly breast embellishments. So we're going to use a couple birds. Let's see, I'm going to put a little bird here, and we'll take one of these. right there. I'm using that for a reason. We'll come back to that in a minute when we get inside. So now we have our card. It won't open all the way, and that's okay because this is going to be a pop-up card. So what I'm going to make is a box with flowers coming out of it. So what I've taken, and I'm going to post all these measurements on my blog so you don't have to worry about it. This is a 2 by 3 inch piece of crumb cake cardstock. And what I'm going to do is cut off these little corners, and then I'm going to cut them off at a, like trimmed a little bit each way. So I've cut off the corners at an angle. So these are my tabs and these are my box tops. So I'm just cutting them while I cut my tabs. And then I'm going to cut this one at a little bit of an angle too, just a little slight angle. We kind of want these all at the same angle. And so what I'm going to do is fold these two down, and those are the front flaps of my box. And I fold these back, and these are what's going to glue to my card. I'm going to glue the little flaps down so that they're not in the way. Let me just press those for a second to make sure they stay. All right, then we're going to fold these in. Let's put just a little bit. I don't want any glue squeezing out, so I'm putting very thin layer of glue. Hold on, one of my gray hairs is there. All right, now when I glue this, I'm going to glue it close to the bottom so that my little seam is right on the center. And glue with our tabs down. Just like that. And we're going to make sure it's going to close just like that. All right, so you can see our little box. Now we want to add some dimension. So I've got 2 more pieces. These are both 1 inch. This one is 2.5 and this one is 2. So we had 3, 2.5, and 2. But these are both 1 inch. So what we're going to do is just fold back these flaps. And we're going to give ourselves a little bit more surface area to glue some of our flowers on. So I am going to just, so you can see that, how that looks. So when it pops up, so I'm going to fold this inside. And then just below the box top. And then lay that down so that it's even. I've got butterfingers this morning. You could actually do these first if you wanted. So you see right there, we have now 2 layers, and if you want, you could add a 3rd layer. I don't think I'm going to worry about the 3rd layer, but you know what? I made it, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, same thing. Fold that back, fold that forward. Just a little bit of glue. I don't want it too close to the edge. And then just make sure it's below the top of your box. You could actually just kind of put it in there. Hold on. My fingers aren't working properly. Okay. Line it up with the center. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to keep this down for a minute just to make sure that that glue stays sealed. All right, while I'm pressing on that, I've used a couple other dies just to get some little teeny flowers and leaves. And so this is the Impressions of Bloom dies. This is an online exclusive, but I wanted these little teeny flowers. What I was looking for, these little small flowers, and you can cut out 6 at one go. So that's what I was looking for. I need a bunch of flowers, and I didn't want to have to die cut, 60 times. So Impressions of Bloom, But these leaves in here, you can see, are large. I don't want large leaves, so I need to find something with some small leaves. So I'm using the Lifetime of Love dies. And I'm using this because I could get lots of leaves at one time with that. I think I also have a couple of these with the small leaves. And then I needed a couple stems that were small as well. So I am using my leaves and stems from this one. I'll put these on my blog too, so if you want to use those, you can. Okay, so we have our box right here. So we're going to do some a little bit of prep work before we start gluing those in. I have a little bit of, I did some of the leaves, and I'm going to trim these down a bit because they're way too big to fit in where our box is. So let's just trim that down. I may even trim them down more. I'm going to trim it off right here. So there's some leaves. I might trim this just in case I want to use a little bit of extra, a little bit. Okay, let's come over here, trim that off. All right. I'm going to leave that big for right now, and then let's trim this off. Okay, we'll just kind of leave those for a second. And then I have another one of these sprigs. Okay. And then I have die cut 4 of the little stems. So there's 2 different stems in there, and one goes one way, one goes the other way. So I'm going to have 2 going that way. Oh, we can flip them up like that. Now, it seems I have 3 of this one, 3 of this one. So I'm going to flip that so I can have it going the other way. It's okay if it's backwards. I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. It's going to know. And then I'm going to use a little bit of glue. And the silicone mats are perfect for this. Do I have a silicone mat? Yes. Can I find it? No, I can't. I have looked everywhere. I'm sure it's somewhere. So this is one of our old piercing tools, and the tip's a little bit bent. So I just use it for whatever. So I'm just putting a teeny bits of glue right there, and I'm going to pick up my flowers. I've got these flowers, they're in Strawberry Slush and Daffodil Delight. I'm picking them up with my putty tip here. I'm going to put Strawberry Slush on this one. I'm going to put 3 flowers there. Let's do, whoops, I'm not using that. This is going to give my flowers a minute to dry too. You can also use a toothpick. I didn't have any toothpicks, so, all right. And then I'm going to put my Daffodil Delight on these. For some reason, every time I dump out pieces, they're always upside down. It can never be easy, can it? All right, let's do this one. I'm just doing one at a time. I'm going to just put my other flower right here because I don't want my glue to dry out in between. Whoop. All right, let go. My putty's too strong. Okay. Maybe I got too much putty coming out there. Okay, and last one, for some reason I'm missing a flower. Let me see. Ugh. Let me look at my back at my scrap paper. When I have a class, I always have scraps in case things get lost, and I use these in my tags later. I need a yellow. This is a good example because I've lost a yellow flower. All right. Oh man, that's the risk you take with putting glue. Oh look, I have extra. There's my other one. The joys of putting class kits together, right? Okay. Okay. We can get rid of that. Let's wipe the glue off our fingers. And now we are going to do a little assembly. Okay. So first thing I want to do is use some of these bigger ones, and I'm just going to glue these to the inside of the card on each side. You know what? I think I'm going to bring that back and put a little more glue on it. Well, it's in the trash. Let's grab another scrap. A little dab of glue. All right. I don't want my glue sticking out or coming out, so I'm just putting a few dots behind some leaves so that I don't have a mess. All right, so I want to put a green one back here. This is going to help give us a little bit of dimension, and it's just glued to the card base, to the white. So if you can see that, just glued to the white. Okay, let's take this one, and we're going to put this upside down, or backwards. So we're going to put our glue on the good side. I just want a little going out in the other direction. And see, I'm not the neatest stamper always. That's okay. I make a huge mess sometimes. Okay. Right here, that. So now I've got a little bit of difference going on in there. All right, next I'm going to take two more, and I'm going to glue these carefully, putting the glue right at on the bottom two leaves and the bottom of the stem. And I'm going to glue this to the inside of that innermost box. Okay, I'm sticking my finger in there. And then I'm hoping when I close that, that it's not going to get too bent. Okay, those are kind of big. You know what, they might get a little bent. So we want to be careful. I might put them inside, that gives me a little more room. Let's try that again. I'm going to put it inside the middle box. And see if that gives me a little more area to layer that. Yeah, that's a little better. Not too much room on that inside box. All right, let's take a yellow flower and glue it to the front of that middle box. So I'm going to put my glue on the back. Got too much glue on the front. I don't want all that glue there. Let's get some of that off. Okay. My fingers are sticky. Whew. Okay. I'm just going to squeeze my box together. Okay, so now I've got my flowers glued to the front of my middle box, and then let's take our strawberry slush flowers, and we're going to glue those to the inside of the front box. Stick my finger in there, and we're going to put that right there on the inside of the box. Now, would it be easier to do this before I put my boxes in? I don't know, maybe. I might try that with my next one, so we can experiment and see what might be easier. The whole idea, whoop, I don't want those quite overlapping so much. The idea is to make it look like we have lots happening right here. Okay, so far we're looking good. My inside box. All right. Okay, let's put our yellow flowers here on the inside. We need a little more glue. I'm going to start in the front with these. These are going to glue to the back of the front panel. I think what's wrong is my middle box is kind of come apart here. It's no longer sticking. So let's put a little more glue there. I had to put a little more glue. I was debating just taking it off, but we're not going to do that. I just put a little more glue, and I probably should just let it dry a little bit longer. Okay, we're going to make it work. All right, so far, got flowers coming out. All right, now we're going to glue these to the front of the middle box over on this side. Try and make those a little bit taller. Okay. Get our middle box glued back in there. Okay, each time I don't know what's loose in here. Something's loose and it's making me crazy. I think it's my middle box. Yeah, that's what's loose. My inside boxes. Okay. Oh, good grief. All right, so this is live, or I would stop and start over. Oh my, what a mess. Okay, we're gonna just do it this way. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, some of I've lost his stem. Okay, that's all right. We're gonna take this one. Let's glue it to the back of our box here. All right, so that's done. I'm going to leave that little small box out because we didn't even glue anything to that. And then I'm going to take my, oh my goodness, that's too funny. I'm going to glue some leaves behind here. Try to get them straight. Let's get this leaf cluster. We're going to glue this right here. Out again. You know, sometimes it's just too much trouble. This is a card you only make for someone you really like. Oh Oh my goodness. All right. I have got one more leaf here, or a couple leaves. Let's just use these while we got them. I'm going to take this one and glue it to the back. Okay, what are we going to do with this one? I'll glue this to the back too. Okay, so I glued some leaves to the back. I have the front of my box, be it as it is, and now I'm going to glue this little inside box. Oh my goodness, back in. I'm going to try this one more time. This is where I should have used our tear and tape. Would have been a little less messy. Okay. I'm going to slide that in behind. Watch out, flowers. Lay it down. Make sure it's going to come this way. Okay. We'll hold it down for a second. All right, while we're doing that, we don't need, if you want to stamp, you can. You don't have to. I'm going to add a couple more of our birds here. We'll do a little bird right there. And we'll do another one. Whoop, where'd he go? I don't think I got him. We'll do this little bird up here. That looks so cute. Okay, I think we have it done now. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm sweating. So, yeah, our flower, oh, here we go. Let's pop it up. It's just folded back the wrong way. There we go. So here we have our box of flowers. I swear I've made like 2 of these. I don't know what's happening. Now, if your card's not closing, because there's a lot going on right here in the middle, what you can do is just grab a little Velcro dot, and you can get these at Walmart or the craft store, and I just put them together, and then I take the backing, these are self-adhesive, off of the harder part of the Velcro dot, put them on together, and then peel off the backing off the softer part. Well, there we go. My fingers are sticky. Make sure they're together and then just close it. And then that will ensure that your Velcro dot's in the correct position. And there you go. I think we have a 90% success rate. 90%. I'm going to give that an A, not an A plus. 90% would be an A because it is a pop-up. It's a pop-up. We just eliminated a layer because we're having some stress today. All right, I hope you enjoyed that project. Please try it, even though you're probably going to get gluey, but only try using the 2 layers. If you want, just do 1 layer. Probably 1 layer would be fine, but I think 2 adds a little bit more. Don't do 3 unless you're really, feeling ambitious. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. I hope you got a laugh. I'm not perfect. I tell my husband I'm perfect, but definitely not perfect. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, and I should be back on Saturday with another video. And I will see you all then. Don't forget, when you place an order of $50 or more online with me, I will send you a kit of our our card class for that month. And yep, I would appreciate your business. Let's see who's on before we sign off. Who's watching this in person? Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Oh, she's already left. She's at work. All right. I think I lost you there for a second. All right. I will see you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.